Welcome back, listeners. This is episode number 102 of the Hit Pause podcast, the podcast where we give you all of your YouTube recommendation needs because the algorithm sure as shit ain't. You are here with your hosts. I'm Ayman.
And I'm David.
And that was a pretty smooth one. Good job.
Mm-hmm. I like how you said that. We're like basically freelance Susan employees to do what YouTube should be doing.
Yes, exactly.
Until they sort it out, then we have no job.
We said it before. Hire us. We'll just sit there doing recommendations all day. We'll just sit there. We'll just sit there. You know, we'll just do recommendate like this video. This one after. It's just done, and everybody watches the same thing according to our taste.
Exactly.
So this week we have a couple of YouTubers we're covering, but first, as always, we'll be going over our videos of the week. But my YouTuber of the week is a relatively small channel, but called Nokeric. Nokeric. It's like N-O-K.
No to Eric. Oh, okay.
Nokeric. Which I got to get into, but such a interest. He's just doing some interesting wild shit on YouTube that is fresh to see.
Fresh.
Who
like
you got this week? You changed last minute, so I'm not.
Yeah,
sure
last
anymore.
minute. I am covering TechLead.
TechLead, okay.
Yeah,
sounds just kind of like a tech review channel. I mean,
well, we'll see about that, won't we?
Okay, fair enough. But first of all, as is tradition, how many hours of YouTube have you watched this week? Listeners at home, let us know what your numbers are. Comment on the YouTube video or comment on SoundCloud or anywhere or iTunes. You can check it in your YouTube app. What have you got, David? You're cringing already. I mean,
I've got 2 hours 50. I don't understand.
David, this is a 30-minute podcast. And you've only watched 2 hours of YouTube. We're supposed to be, the experts on this.
Well, as long as I watch longer than the actual podcast, life is great, right?
Hey, it's not a lot longer. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, 2 hours 50. But I think it's because I do watch some straight off the TV with the smart remote thing.
Yeah, and if you set it up correctly, that goes on.
I'm not signed in as a guest.
Why? Why not sign in?
I don't know.
Speaking of the Chromecast things, I got recently the newest Chromecast thing, the Chromecast TV. I can't actually remember what it's called, with the little remote, dedicated YouTube button. And I actually got to recommend this thing so much, and you can press it and like talk to it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm so annoyed with the everything is Netflix button. Nah, let's move on from that.
I mean, this has a Netflix button as well.
Oh, well,
I mean, that's all you need really. YouTube and Netflix done. To be fair, I was about to cancel my Netflix because they keep putting the price up.
I've cancelled mine.
You have? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm getting off topic here.
No. One more on
for it,
this, though. Because something's really annoyed me recently. Okay. I don't know why they haven't updated Google Home to just two things. One, how about when you whisper, hey, the thing, it should lower its voice back to you. I just think that's pretty acceptable.
You know what? I've seen that exact suggestion on the Google Home subreddit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, I agree. That would be good if it's like the middle of the night and you don't want to turn the lights on, you don't want to disturb anybody,
exactly.
And you just want to know what time it is.
Yeah.
Whisper.
that literally happened to me. I didn't want to wake somebody up, so I wanted to cancel the alarm. So by saying, hey, turn off the alarm, it was like, got it. Turning off alarm.
That's cancelled.
Gosh, I think I said that too loud for the audio as well.
Nice.
But
okay.
Yeah. And then second thing is, instead of having to always say, hey, there should be like the same way you tap for the volume, should be a label, just tap
and it starts listening.
The thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. The thing that really annoys me about it is the suggestions. Again, this is always on the subreddit, people saying it, but the way it will not constantly, but sometimes it will suggest things. It'll be like, I'll ask it the time, or I'll set a timer. Then it'll be like, did you know you can ask me the weather anytime. Use your Google Home app.
Yeah.
You can set an alarm by just saying set an alarm. Or blah blah blah. And I'm like, I've literally used that function 100 times. Surely you know that I am aware of that function and don't need you to go on a whole huge rambling thing telling me about it.
Yeah.
So annoying.
And this is the last one, I swear. But also, like for years, I say years, 2-3 years, I have said, hey, turn on the TV. He just does it silently. I don't know about yours, but recently she's now saying, turning on living room TV.
Okay, interesting.
Why?
I don't know.
2 years in this relationship.
Just do it. We don't need to know.
Gosh.
Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, I actually have some tips for better Google Home usage on my channel, just on my channel, Glyphics.
Okay.
Anyway.
You put that in the description.
Yeah. When are we going to cover our own channels on our own podcast?
Episode 1000.
Episode 1000, when we have 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So this week, what have you been watching? In your whole 2 hours of view time, what have you been watching? What, like 4 videos or something?
Okay. Well, I've split it into 2. The main thing I've been watching is a lot of yeah, I know. I'm going to start mentioning vlogs. Oh, no. But I've been watching people who like spend like 30 days in a different country, kind of like the backpacking kind of group.
Okay.
And just like seeing how much it costs as well as what they did with the money. So I've been, probably like a couple channels there. Like there's one channel called Backpacking Bananas. I mean, these names are just all over the place.
Name, but so it's basically a travel vlog.
Yeah.
Channel. Okay.
For enthusiasts that just go from country to country. Even during lockdown, they've been doing it, like
really?
Mexico to Brazil to Chile, that kind of thing.
I bet that kind of channel's really been popular during lockdown as well, when nobody could travel.
Yeah. And the main reason why I found myself into that is because I'm booking a holiday for December, and I wanted to spend a month in Brazil, but also wanted to know before doing so what I could do as well as with my budget. And that kind of led me on to this other channel, which is called Lexi Limitless. And she is also apparently so no limits. She, I think, is the Guinness Book record holder for the youngest person who's been to every country in the world.
Oh, wow.
I think she's 19. Well, when she was, I think she was 19 when she did it. 19 or 17.
How is she funding this? Is she must be rich, right? Her family must be rich.
You know what? There's nothing in the channel that is giving me a good enough impression where the money came from, because her second video on her channel is her completing the record. So it's not like YouTube and that whole journey of us watching her do it was.
Oh, it's income. Like, oh yeah, I've already done the interesting thing.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why I changed this channel. That's great. Like the first 2 videos, amazing. I think the second one's like 1 million+ views, and that everyone wanted to know and see how she did it. But then after that, every other video she's made is like, this is my recommendation, my top 5 countries. And then like in the title, when you like promote yourself, like as the person who's been to every country in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen YouTubers who do that, who are like maybe the first to do something. Put that in the title, just the same way as putting your name in it, really. Like, obviously we know it's you, but you want to do it so that when it's being searched in the search bar, you come up.
Yeah,
which is pretty sad, but I get it. You want to milk what you've done.
I mean, she's done a lot. Fair play.
But it's also the reason why I can't watch any more of the videos, because it's like, it's too forced. But it's definitely entertaining and definitely something that's
okay. It reminds me of the what is it? Bald and Bankrupt channel. We spoke about like a few episodes last season, I think, about the bald English guy who goes around loads of just Eastern Bloc countries and goes to all these old Soviet things, and that's cool as well. I mean, I kind of get the travel sort of vlog video thing. It's pretty interesting. I'm always thinking, like,
even if they're not interesting, what they're showing can at least be.
Yeah. I'm always like interested, when they're in these poorer countries and they're vlogging with these fancy, nice cameras and like packed plate. Like, how often are these guys getting robbed?
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't know. They're not streetwise already.
Yeah. Okay, fine, fair enough. Good recommendation for those of us who can't go outside, which is all of us essentially.
Yeah.
So this week I've been one of the videos I wanted to bring up was one that went really viral. It actually went really viral a few weeks ago, but I like rewatched it over the past weeks and I hadn't mentioned it before. But was the Hanforth Parish Council meeting clip. The one specifically I'm going to link in the description is just highlights, because the whole thing is actually like hours long and it's so entertaining. Like, this video ended up on trending at, if not number one, it was top 10. It was definitely top 10. And it's just a bunch of just regular people, mostly, middle age to elderly, having a council meeting via Zoom. And they have connection issues, but it's not really that's funny. What's funny is the way they interact. Like, they must have had so many of these meetings because they all just seem so done with each other's shit. It's absolutely amazing. Like,
how many people are we talking about?
So there's probably, it's hard to tell because it kind of switches, who's in the full screen talking, how Zoom does that. But there's probably 9 or maybe 12 people in it.
Yeah.
Who are actually kind of active, and they're so rude to each other, and they're so like, how do I even describe it? They're just messing with each other, and they're trying to like gain a position, and somebody got kicked out of it, and it's just ridiculous. It's just such ridiculous behavior, and it all is under this guise of sounding like really professional, and they're using all this kind of proper wording and terminology, and like, I'll thank the speaker to do this and that, and it's like they've been watching too much politics on the TV, and they're trying this out. It's so bad, but that is hilarious. I highly recommend it for anyone to watch that video. Everyone.
And by parish council, we're not talking like a council for the borough. We're talking like church council or something.
Yeah, little town council. That talks about issues. Are we gonna get the hedges cut or whatever? Not big things. So funny, so funny.
We've got a new bench coming where we need a spot in the park to put it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's the second video that you watched this week? Because you must have only watched about 2 videos.
Yeah. So I've seen quite a number of videos about YouTube channels like having to let go of people or shutting down, due to COVID and all of that.
Like big channels that have, staff and everything, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, I know Rooster Teeth, for example, still haven't hit 10 million. I don't even think they care. I think it's been like 6 years they've been on 9 million subs. It's hilarious.
Wow.
But yeah, they let go of some stuff, and they had to
Did they?
They didn't have to put a message out, but I think they did put out a big tweet because there was quite a few. And like in a podcast, and they just talked about it because obviously their channel is one of those where there might be 50 staff and the audience knows all 50. It's not just the main 4 or 10 in front of camera, which has its consequences like that. But yeah. But there's one channel in particular called Asian Boss. Don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
they do a lot of like outreach and like integration between like communities and like getting people off their feet all over the world as well. Like they're one of those.
You mean people back on their feet?
What did I say?
I said get people off their feet. They're knocking people down. You've got too much money. You're too homed. You need to be homeless.
Them off their feet put them back on their feet.
Get off those feet.
Yeah, no one knows the beginning story of Robin Hood. He started the problem. He's just trying to fix it. But yeah, they get people back on their feet, and then they also like raise awareness and also educate the audience in terms of like just towns you probably never heard of and like what they go through, and trying to like they fundraise a lot, and a really good channel, but they had to shut down because they obviously some channels just take a lot of money to maintain, and theirs is one of them.
I mean, yeah, but so I guess with them, they're doing stuff in public, person to person, which they can't really do.
Yeah, their channel can't survive completely remote, which you think every channel is, but yeah, it's like gas no brakes, right? Well, all gas no brakes. I mean, obviously you're gonna do a podcast, you're gonna do other things you can do during COVID.
But the thing is with them,
main thing,
obviously they don't have a whole squad of people. There's three of them or something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so then and then I think they started a GoFundMe, and it just like worked really well. I think they hit their goal quite well. I know I should have had the figures or whatever, but I think it was like well over the $1 million plus that they were asking for, and I also believe they got some investment as well. So like basically they're back on their own feet, and they're like but after like shutting down the office and like probably having to get rid of a few staff, but the company as a whole is now started back up. And I'm sure if it can hold its own with the money they've got, and maybe 2021 things clear up a bit, they can be back. Damn. But it was a good 2 videos of them shutting down, and then their "You Saved Us" video, which is everyone's donation. Really? So it's good to see.
Nice. That's kind of fitting as well for their channel. Like,
yeah, exactly. They've been fundraising for other people. Yeah. So I'll put both of them to see the down and the up.
Okay, that's cool. All right, well, next on my list of what I've been watching this week is Solar Sands, which is another... You guys, the long-time listeners will remember a while back, I went through this phase of watching just loads of documentaries, loads of kind of like long-form stuff, and Solar Sands was one I watched a bit of back then, but I've just been watching more of his stuff recently, but he basically just will pick interesting kind of mostly internet-y sort of topics and just talk about them. So there's this one about liminal spaces, which is this really interesting kind of, I don't want to call it a phenomenon, but interesting kind of idea which came about on the internet of images of particular spaces, mostly uninhabited or empty or derelict buildings, usually don't have any people in, just like empty spaces, an empty office building, that kind of thing. And it's a space that gives you a certain feeling like it's recognizable, or you almost like remember the space although you've never been there, and it has this kind of slightly eerie kind of vibe. And he basically is talking about like, okay, I think we can all agree that we get a weird vibe from certain pictures of this sort. Why does that happen? Is it because we all grew up during a similar period in a similar area? And, we went to an old McDonald's that used to look similar to this. And that's why we now think like this space seems kind of familiar, even though we don't know why. It's just really kind of interesting video. And the whole liminal spaces thing is interesting anyway. But yeah, I recommend it.
I mean, I'm all about recommendations. Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah. Likewise, I kind of had a video, but I won't really talk about it. But it was like a video I saw about how to test your emotional maturity. Again, it's just one of those that I just found interesting that somebody would make a video like that, which I guess is the hook, because it will never be a one size fits all anyway. But again, still interesting. And I kind of
did it work? So what's your maturity level?
No, I'm not. I actually, you know what? I'm very mature for my age.
Based on this video or what?
No, just in.
Can you tell me how it works? What does he do?
No, to be honest, the title does not go hand in hand with the content of the video. It was more like these are the things you'll notice to know that you've got something to work on.
I'll tell you what, if you are watching this video looking for a serious answer on what your emotional maturity is, you're emotionally immature.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your
if you're
answer.
coming to YouTube,
If you go into YouTube to answer your emotional state questions, like, that's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our channels of the week, or do you have some more that you watched this week?
No, I mean,
some quick fire.
Nah,
Quick
they're
fire
all
ones?
they're all in the description.
Okay. You don't want to give us a quick? This is what they're about.
I watched one video from IGN on how they made Call of Duty during the pandemic.
You know what? I saw that in my feed. I didn't watch it. Was it good?
It was basically what I expected. Like, I get it. If you're gonna do like the cinematics for those few people that play the story, oh my gosh, when you want to put any sort of story together and people are not in the same room, and you have to have it like there's some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a connection between characters. Like, yeah, that was always gonna be hard. And then they just show a bit more of it, as well as some of these voice actors living in houses where they got kids next door, and how they've had to soundproof rooms and scream when they're like doing a death scene, but they obviously don't feel it because they're in their room and they try to keep the noise level down.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, pretty hilarious. And like,
yeah, because you don't. I had been kind of thinking about the developers and stuff like that, and thinking, well, give them a computer. It's all good, you write your code. But voice actors and things, like, it makes sense. Must be tricky to work like that.
I wonder if we're gonna have like a gap in series of TV and movies.
Well, loads of movies have been cancelled already. I mean, Dune has already been pushed back.
Oh yeah. You're excited to see.
Not to mention, loads of movies and things and TV shows. Yeah, I imagine that we will see. There's nothing I'm really watching that's current.
Yeah,
but I imagine there's stuff's been pushed back and all that.
I was surprised that you were surprised that Power Rangers is still going on.
I am surprised, and that's nothing to do with
Season
quarantine.
28,
I
they're
just
still making it.
And you just watch it, or you're up to date. You watch it as it comes out.
I make sure I watch the first 2 episodes of each season, and if it's interesting enough, like current, like then I'll keep on watching. There's not that many. And then I'll just make sure I watch the ending of each one, just so that I know.
Okay.
Just
so you're kind of up to date. And how is this season? Season 28.
Yeah. Well, actually, this is a very relatable one, because in every season they try and like bring it to like what is relevant to teenagers, right? So the first one is like them in high school, blah blah blah. Then it goes on to people being a bit more maybe adventurous, they're more outdoorsy. But this season 28, I think it's called, I don't know the name, but this season 28 is about everyone in the show, not just the Power Rangers themselves. All the other teenagers are all influencers working at a BuzzFeed.
Oh my god!
So like you see this boss going around like that's not gonna get clicks. Change the thumbnail. Like it's kind of cool that it's a little self-aware, but it's like just showing how all these TikTokers are like doing what trends rather than what is interesting, and then the person or the initial 3 that starts the Power Ranger group is obviously that one rebellious person who wants to do content that they enjoy rather than gets the clicks.
Okay. I wish I had asked, to be honest.
Yeah,
Okay, fuck,
Hey, it's
Whatever,
hilarious
that's
popcorn.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's go to our channels of the week. Who do we want to cover first, me or you?
I'll go because I have very little to talk about.
Okay, go.
So this channel is called TechLead, and he doesn't really put his name anywhere, so I can't even say what his name is. But he is a ex Google employee, as well as I think he also worked at Facebook, and he proclaims himself as a multi-millionaire app entrepreneur.
Oh, what app did he make?
Yeah, trust me, I was trying to find out, but I couldn't. He doesn't even plug it anywhere, so I don't know.
He's already made his
don't
millions.
Really know. Hey, yeah, we want to know.
Okay.
Was he a millionaire just from working at Google and Facebook? But he's obviously very intelligent, and he does also have, being a software engineer, he does also have a lot of courses that he gives out to people if they want to join his membership program and mentorship membership program and all of that. But the reason why I found or even heard of this guy, YouTuber, was he had a video called Why My Wife Left Me. And I don't know, I just decided to click it.
Oh my
and
God.
This is 10, I don't know, I'm sure he's got his own fans that are like really like, oh man, I feel you on this one. But from a guy who has no clue about this guy, I did find this really funny to watch.
Okay.
Just give me a sec to explain.
I mean,
that.
it sounds like a weird video, to be fair.
Yeah. So it's one, I don't really see this a lot where somebody says everything that happened. Normally you like mask it just because of respect and like keeping things private, but he just listed it all out. So he's going on about how, okay, so he is Japanese of descent, and his wife and child lived with him initially, and then his wife they had to move in with his parent. No, I think his parents moved in with them, and she was finding it very uncomfortable living with them. And then eventually she was like, look, I can't live with them. I'm going back to Japan, and I'm also taking the child.
Okay.
And then
this is pretty heavy.
But I'll get into the comedic part, because it's all about his delivery. And he talks about it like, you know, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
But like in terms of just like I'm confident that he's not socially inept, but he does it in his commentary, which makes it really funny, because then he's always baffled by some of the decisions that the wife made, which when he says it, he knows makes logical sense, but he acts like it doesn't make sense. It's crazy. It's like he acts like it doesn't make sense, but he knows it makes sense. And it's his delivery in it that is just like it's so good. I don't know.
I
how
have to see
it.
this. I don't even.
You have to see it. But then the thing is, he also has other videos like how much he spent in a year being a millionaire is the title.
Okay.
And
fine.
he has this comedic thing that he does, which is he always sips his coffee, and like that's what everyone comments about, because he always sips his coffee after a sarcastic point. So he would do that, even going back to the wife thing, like and she left me for that reason. Anyway, it's just like he knows it's funny, but I don't know, it's like a comedian that you just can't explain.
So what is it? What's the channel as a whole about? Is it tech?
I mean,
or is it just about him being a millionaire, and it's kind of like a bit vloggy in that sense?
Yeah, it's always him in front of a camera. He never like shows, at least from the videos I've seen and scrolling down his feed, nothing like, oh, this is how you do a piece of code or whatever. No, it's just like him talking about his previous experience in the tech business as well as his day-to-day life.
Okay.
But yeah, like the first 5 seconds of his what I spent as a millionaire is like straight to the point. He just like opens up his little notepad, and it's like 395,000 in taxes, and then the rest is like equipment, food, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, so that's it. It's like normally people do a
I don't know what I
thing.
expected, but okay, it's good.
He's a straight shooter.
That's good. I like that.
But he's just got a little charm with how he delivers his points.
Okay, nice. So I want to see this wife video, man. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Okay, well, let me get to my channel of the week, Nokeric. Now, he's only got like 16K subs, which he very recently hit after being stuck on like 15.9 and, for quite some time. And okay, so first of all, I found this channel from another channel where I've talked about at length, The Minute Hour. So The Minute Hour basically does audio sketches. like comedy audio sketches and works with a lot of animators and stuff. He did a live stream last week or week before last of, it was basically just a collection of loads of different creators. So we had animators, we had sketch, comedy sketches, there was music. It was just, he wasn't presenting any of it. It was just all stitched together. And this live stream lasted something like 26 hours.
Oh.
It was just on. And I would just check in on it periodically and, and just watch a few videos from various different channels and things. And it was just, I know I've said it before, but I loved the Minute Hour. Like, he's so awesome. He deserves so many more subs. And he's just like a focal point for all these like creative, interesting people and channels. Anyway,
but are all these people, sketch artists and musicians, like his recommendations or his pick, or like has he collaborated with all of them or something?
I don't think he's collaborated with all of them. I think it's just, interesting ones. And from what I can tell, he spoke to people and got permission and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
It was just like a showcase of interesting stuff on YouTube. And okay, so one of the videos that came up was from Nokeric. In fact, there was several. It was like 3 in a row or something. And how do I describe his channel? He's to me, Nokeric, he's making stuff current. It's a present day. He's making stuff, videos every week or so. And to me, it's just like old school YouTube, like good shit, old school YouTube. Think iDubbbz and Filthy Frank and, throwing up on camera and blood and just ridiculous kind of stuff. Like it's so chaotic. His videos are just so chaotic but so funny, and it's basically him. His name's Eric, obviously, and he just he's playing a character of him, of just this over the top guy who loves Red Bull, is horrible to his mother, who he actually lives with, and like is in tons of his videos. And she's such like a good sport. She really she really, I don't know, she really adds a lot to a lot of his videos and things, and just the way he is with her is so funny. So for example, okay, he did a video recently called "The Vaccine Shrunk My Penis," talking about the COVID vaccine. And it's just him in public with a microphone and speaker screaming, and I mean screaming, about how the vaccine shrank his penis. And he's got his mum there showing like this is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. His face is painted blue, which has no bearing on anything and like no reason for it. He drinks loads of Red Bull. There's lots of screaming. It's like, it's just such a ridiculous vibe. Like half his videos don't even make sense. There was one about Dungeons and Dragons where he's he basically gets his friends over to play Dungeons and Dragons. One of them is dying. He takes all their phones so they can focus, but then it turns out to be a ploy. He's only taken their phones so that he can go on them and subscribe to his YouTube channel on their phones so he can get 4 more subscribers. And it's such a hilarious character. And, he's only getting 1 to 3 to maybe 5K views per video. We're on 16K subs, which is not a lot, but he must be getting absolutely hammered by the algorithm, because it is, again, it's that like old school kind of YouTube vibe, which doesn't.
YouTube does not want that anymore.
It just does not want that anymore. It's just, it's. But that's kind of partly like what I love about him is he keeps making these videos, he keeps doing his thing, and he keeps pushing for more and more subs, even though I'm sure he's getting hammered by the algorithm. Ad revenues are going to be through the floor, and it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, okay, so just to give you an idea of the grind. So his channel's about 6 years old, right? And he did a few videos over the years, 6 years, 5 years, 4 years ago, making a few videos. He's quite young, so he was quite young back then. Then he took a break. About 4 years ago, he took a break and didn't post anything for like a whole year, pretty much. And after that, he came back in with a few little videos here and there. But then two. Okay, wait. I got the stats here. So then 2 years ago, he stepped it up. And 2 years ago, he made 67 videos in the year. Last year made 68. So he's now on one a week minimum average. And he's just pumping these things out. And he works a lot with, he's got a friend whose channel is called Thomas the Mammoth, who does all his, works the camera basically for most of it. He'll either be on like a selfie stick camera, which gives again like such a vibe. It's just him running through the streets. He does not care about what he does in public, and it's so hilarious. Anyway, so Thomas the Mammoth videos most of his stuff, and I really like that. It's like the content is old school vibe, but it's filmed really well as well. So credit to Thomas for that, because how do I put it? The old school vibe, but with modern day, camera techniques and the quality you would expect on YouTube in 2021.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be hard to go back to some like shitty quality video and all that. But what else I have to say? I've just been binging his videos, and a lot of them are hard to watch because they just don't make any sense and they're hard to follow. But it's just, there is so much good content there, and I want to see him do well. I mean, 16K on that kind of content is already amazing, and I just think it deserves more. And I just want to, I want more of this kind of stuff on YouTube. Some of my favorites are like iDubbbz and that kind of just old school.
They shouldn't have just made it just because they started years ago. Those people should still be able to come up nowadays.
Exactly. And it's like that kind of content, like, don't give a shit, making stuff because it's fun and funny, and just complete mess, a complete shit show, but in a good way kind of thing. Anyway, the guy is hilarious. The character's hilarious. He's always wearing this frog hat on his head, again, just part of the character. He's just a hilarious guy. There was another one where so he on his Patreon he says, if you give me one of the tiers, I think it's like $250 maybe, Canadian probably because he's in Canada. Pay me this and I'll come to your house if you live in the area and clean your house for you. Obviously, he doesn't clean his house, but there's videos of him where he actually goes to his subscriber's house and cleans the house. There was another one where he goes to a bunch of his patrons or whatever. He goes to their homes, and then I'm assuming it's fake. Obviously, it's faked, but he pretends he's breaking in. He goes on the computer and checks their subscriptions. Like, he goes to one guy's house, and he's got Nokeric merch like all over the walls. He's like, this guy's a huge fan. Then he goes on his thing, sees he's subscribed, great. Then he sees he hasn't pressed the bell icon.
Oh.
And he's like, what do I have to do to get people? It's so fucking hilarious. Like, man, absolutely excellent channel. Nokeric, if you are watching, please just keep making your shit. I'm going to be getting a Patreon subscription. That is my promise to you. I have clicked the bell icon. That is a promise to you. And man, highly recommend.
You liked every post on Instagram, right?
Oh shit, I don't think I'm on the Instagram yet. Fuck, man. By the time this is out, I'll be on the Instagram. All right. Well, I think that about wraps us up for this week. Am I right?
Yeah. It's all about the grind. I love it.
I agree.
That's what we're doing.
I agree, exactly. And like, you got to respect someone who's putting out video after video, getting nailed by the algorithm, and
What, you mean like the Power Rangers episode I just talked about?
Yes, just like fucking Power Rangers. Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching. We are on YouTube, Hippos Podcast on YouTube, linked in the description, or you can just get us on iTunes, on any of your podcasting apps. We have an email, hitpostpodcast@gmail.com. How many hours did you watch last week? I want to know. Hopefully more than David. If it's more than me,
if you do
then
all
I'm
those things,
impressed.
we'll wash your house. Wash your house.
We'll wash your house. Thanks. We will see you next week. Bye for now.
See ya.